The Bitcoin price has just seen an absolutely incredible rip to the upside. We need to discuss potential targets if this pump is to continue, and we also need to discuss several warning signs right here inside the chart, because folks, if this is to dump, things may get very, very interesting here in the short term. So let's dive in and analyze. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Crypto Kirby here, your cryptocurrency expert, back with another edition of the daily live stream. So let's not waste any time and get right down to it. Let's start here with the obvious. I mean, Bitcoin has been on an extremely aggressive pump to the upside. Here over the past month alone, from bottom here to top here, Bitcoin has risen nearly 60%. Here on my chart, it's 59.61%. Savage, heinous, borderline ludicrous, if you do in fact ask me, but it is what it is. And if you are a longtime subscriber to this channel, you would know that this area right here that I'm circling on the chart was the most key critical area for the bears to potentially step back in. We had these two downward sloping lines of potential resistance when connecting from our prior swing high tops to this swing high top here. It smashed through those. We then had this horizontal range of old support and resistance over here, which also was respected upon the first test, but then got ripped right through. And the real meat and potatoes here, folks, the big kahuna, if you will, is really this 80-week Hull moving average. The HMA here on the 80, I also like to use the 104. We've seen that throughout Bitcoin's history. If we look back at these market cycles, okay, we have seen that after dropping below the 80 HMA on the weekly time frame, we've generally fallen into a bear market. And usually we backtest up to the line after falling through it and then plunge more. We saw it back there in 2014. We saw it here in 2018, right? Drop below, backtest, plunge further. Here in 2019, drop below, backtest, plunge. And folks, we drop below right here. So we were looking at this from a historical perspective saying, hey, we've seen three major market cycles for the Bitcoin price. And each time we have seen the same occurrence with 100% accuracy. So when we look here in the current day, what is the probability perspective that that was going to potentially happen? Historically, it's happened 100% of the time. Now, of course, as we should all know, past performance does not indicate future results. But if you're looking at this from a probabilities perspective, I mean, the last three times it's happened. There's only been three major cycles throughout Bitcoin's history. So with 100% accuracy, we have seen that indicator call the bear market top, okay? So this time, just take a look, folks, at where this line was prior to it breaking through. You just can't make this stuff up. Ding, 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 chicken wings for dinner, tofu if you're vegan. It's right there in the area of significant confluence with our trend lines and old price action support and resistance. Let's get this crypto. So this area right here around 53K, this was the sweet spot. This was the area that we had to await to see if the bulls were going to be able to break it, because they couldn't break it the first time. And actually the HMA, boom, the price kissed it and plunged. And in hindsight, this may not look like much, but look, folks, it was about a 25% correction to the downside. And I could go into a bunch of different indicators and things like that that were also bearish underneath this range here. But I mean, if you're a longtime subscriber to this channel, then you already know this. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, tick the little bell, and select all right now so you do not miss any more of these important Bitcoin updates, all right? To wrap up this thought, yes, the Bitcoin price has broken above the area that I was awaiting for it to either get rejected at and confirm the bear market with a possible M-shaped bearish pattern, or to break through it with somewhat of a bull flag pattern, getting above this range in the HMA and looking to possibly stick in a new all-time high. I hope that you understand why I've been looking at this from a bearish perspective, especially when we pull up the Wall Street cheat sheet psychology of a market cycle. You can clearly see the resemblance, right, in how this range here, especially, forget about these candles here, make believe they don't exist. With this action right here, we can really look at this Wall Street cheat sheet psychology of a market cycle and make a good case that this does look very similar into what could have been a blow off top of a market cycle, a multi-month complacency rally here before then continuing to the downside. I hope that you understand that right now things are possibly beginning to change here, and the theory that this is a bull trap here and that the trend must continue further down is starting to diminish, in my opinion. Let's get this crypto. I mean, it just is what it is. You see, the probability for further potential downside underneath here is way larger, in my opinion, than it is up here now. All we're looking at is probabilistic potential outcomes. Down here, the probability for continued downside was larger, in my opinion, than it is up here now after breaking through the 80 weekly HMA and these downward sloping trend lines. Let's get this crypto. So before we even look at these warning signs, I just want to preface this with the fact that I do personally believe right now that the probabilities are beginning to change back into bullish favor, whereas over here they switched from bullish to bearish, and that was the momentum of the trend for months. Now I do certainly believe it's possible that we are seeing this macro shift once again, and if this is in fact to occur, the Bitcoin price could not only possibly be in for a new all-time high, but possibly a much, much higher all-time high than where we currently are around right now. Let's get this crypto. Now let's look at some warning signs because, right, it can't just all be peaches and cream here. I think it's important to look at this from all angles. So let's just look at what could possibly derail this bullish momentum. First up, we're going to look at the volume here. Now, you guys know that I have been showing this here on this channel if you're subscribed. I actually want to go out to the monthly because this just, it visualizes it the best for us. So you can see that the peak volume of this run was right at the top, okay? Right around the top here, we had our massive volume climax. And usually runs do tend to end on a volume climax. That's usually how it works, okay? So we saw that come in, we had our massive sell-off, and now the price is back, I mean, almost essentially right to where it was at the top. But take a look at what's happened to the volume here. I pointed this out on the last stream. I said, folks, this is a massive bearish volume divergence here on this chart. And as you can see, over the past several months in particular, we have seen all of this buy pressure come in, but the volume, it's just steadily declining. I mean, that is not a strong look from a volume perspective. It just appears that the order books are thin and a relatively small amount of buyers compared to what we've seen in the past are able to buy and push the price up pretty fast and pretty easily with a relatively small amount of capital. In my opinion, that's not great in terms of looking for a volume profile that indicates that this trend is sustainable. Can it be sustainable? Absolutely. Does this look that we're seeing down here indicate that this looks incredibly sustainable? Absolutely not, in my opinion. Let's get this crypto. Now, piggybacking off of this volume, I'd like to take a look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index and the Google Trends data now. This here is the Google Trends data for the search term Bitcoin, worldwide data past 5 years. Now, just a brief overview here. When we've seen the Google Trends data rising rapidly, generally the price has followed. When we've seen the Google Trends data plummeting, generally the price has followed. It's not perfect. It will never be perfect. It's just a rough generalization to say, hey, this is at least what I'm looking for when I look at this. Now, when we were seeing the Bitcoin price run up crazy beginning back in 2020, take a look at what happened here with the Google Trends data. Folks, it ripped and we continued to put in higher highs months and months after. Look, this first one here was in January of 2021. We saw a higher high in May of 2021. So several months later, we were still putting in higher highs even though we had a bunch of chop here in the middle. So when you look at this now, this really doesn't look like a strong bullish uptrend in the Google Trends data. Now, this is probably the point in the video where all of the Moonboy cult members come out and say, well, Kirby, no one's searching for Bitcoin because we all know what Bitcoin is. You're looking at a lagging metric, Kirby. If your mind is exploding from me analyzing the Google Trends data that is publicly available to us all, you are probably in the wrong business, my sycophantic degenerate Moonboy friend. Let's get this crypto. So for those of you who haven't had your heads explode from looking at this rational chart, you tell me, leave a comment down below. Does this here, folks, does this trend right here look like we are still in some sort of parabolic uptrend? Or does it look like this trend is possibly waning and possibly starting to plummet? You let me know. And I'm just pointing this out because, right, I said we were going to piggyback off of the volume declining, yet the price is rising. We're not seeing an influx in Google trend data for Bitcoin either. So when you pair these two things together, this to me is an absolute warning shot fired. And I'm not saying that this means that the Bitcoin price has to dump or capitulate or anything like that right now. I'm just saying this is the data we have in front of us, right? I could sit here all day and show you the same charts as everybody else that these Moonboys want to see. Kirby, plan B, the stock to flow, Kirby. My friends, I'm not going to sit here and show you the same analysis that 85 other people have posted within the past 3 hours. You understand? I'm trying to give you a realistic and alternative perspective to what's going on here, and I hope you appreciate it. And last but certainly not least here, we do have the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, which you can see right now is seeing an extreme greed reading all the way up at a 78. Now, I just want to show you this here because, again, it's just an alternative perspective, all right? Right now, up here at a 78, the last time that we saw 78 was all the way back here in August, and this is when Bitcoin saw its last dump. Granted, it wasn't some type of life-ending dump or anything like that, but it was quite large. Let me just show you that quick. The last time we saw a Fear and Greed Index reading high up in the 70s was right there, folks, right when we kissed this range of confluence and dumped. And let me just quickly take this. The dump was ultimately for about 25% down. Let's get back to the Fear and Greed Index, though. And no matter how you slice it, sure, we are right up around this area right now. Granted, things are different. We really aren't up upon a resistance level. We're not below that triple confluence. We're not below the weekly 80 HMA, right? Things are different here. But notice, this was a giant top back in 2019 up here at about at a 95, right? High 80s to a 95. This was a top here. High 80s up to about a 95. So, I mean, in my opinion, we are in risky territory, and if not already in risky territory, potentially looking to enter risky territory. Again, this is not taking away from the Bitcoin trend right now. I need you guys to understand that, okay? For me right now, everything I'm seeing on Bitcoin is starting to look more bullish from a macro perspective. I'm just simply stating that it's important to continue to look at these alternative metrics here, to keep yourself level-headed, right? To keep your emotions at bay and understand, well, hey, I mean, in terms of a market cycle and in terms of this cyclical up and down roller coaster ride that is BTC, it's at least possible here that the volume is drying up. We're not seeing as many new people entering the space. This is a relatively small amount of capital that are eating up relatively thin order books, pushing the price higher, right? So we see the volume is declining. Google Trends data at best is just puttering around, right? It's not really going anywhere. And right now we are up in this area here on the Fear and Greed Index, where historically we have ran into some problems from a bullish perspective. This is the area where we've seen the bears step back in throughout history. Let's get this crypto. And of course, in terms of targets, if we were to see a massive dump right now, I mean, all eyes for me here, folks, are on this red box between 53K and 51K. I mean, it would be very similar to exactly the type of dump we saw last time, okay? We got rejected at this area, plunged, where to? The old resistance ceiling that then became the floor, right? So this resistance ceiling here we'd be looking for essentially the exact same thing. This old ceiling to then possibly flip into the floor between 53K and 51K before then another potential move to the upside. Let's get this crypto. It's very hard right now to put any type of targets on anything above 65,000. I mean, what are we going to do here? I mean, at best, what we could do is say that this is possibly a gigantic bull flag, right? So if we take it from the breakout point, this does give us a target up towards about 68,000 up here. But I mean, folks, Bitcoin is a crazy beast. And we would be officially in uncharted territory above an all-time high. So this could get very interesting, but the main target here is if we see a dump, keyword if we see a dump, watch for between 53K and 51K for potential new bullish support to come in before then possibly seeing another rip to the upside, very similar to what we saw here. Let's get this crypto. Folks, if you did enjoy here today, just smash that thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm. Give it a tap. It really helps the channel and the algorithm, so thanks. And if you're brand new, welcome to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, tick the little bell, and select all right now so you do not miss any more of these important Bitcoin updates, all right? Welcome to the channel. And of course, if you are interested in all of my real-time trade setup ideas, entry ideas, strategy ideas, everything just like that in absolute real time, as the dawn looks to potentially strike gold again, then today is the day. It's time to transform yourself from average Joe into savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. I'll see you in VIP right now after this video. Do not miss my next important real-time trade setup idea and alert. Let's go. And just another reminder here for all of my old VIPs, if you still haven't yet, if you didn't know, my old Telegram account was compromised. I lost access to my account and the old VIP channel. If you were a current VIP and you're still not in the new VIP group, contact me at my new account, t.me/CryptoKirbyTrading. I will verify that you were in the old VIP. I will get you in the new VIP group. Contact me there. And for everybody else, I will see you in VIP right now after this video. Let's get this crypto. And until next time, the dawn has spoken. Be safe, be happy, be healthy. It's your boy, Crypto Kirby. Peace and love, my friends. Curbs. Oh, and before I forget, don't fall for any of the fake Kirby accounts posting down in the comment section. They create fake accounts with a nearly identical username and logo to mine. Then they reply to your comments with phone numbers and email addresses trying to get you to contact them. You can see several examples on your screen right now. Do not contact these people. So here's how you can verify that it's my actual real account. It's very simple. When you're watching a video on my channel, my real account will always have a gray nameplate behind my name. I also have a verified checkmark from YouTube. And just to make it even more obvious that it's me, I always leave a creator heart on my comments. Only the channel owner can leave a creator heart. So if you see the heart plus the gray background and the verified checkmark, you know that it's me. If you don't see those things, then it's obviously a fake account. It's as simple as that. They're also creating fake accounts over on Telegram now. So if you are ready to become a VIP, do not go on Telegram and search Crypto Kirby or Crypto Kirby VIP. You're going to find all fake results. My group is private. When you search that in the search bar, you're getting public results. They're all fake. They're all imposters. So if you're ready to join VIP, the only way to do so is to click the link either in the pinned comment or in the description of my video. If you search for Crypto Kirby or Crypto Kirby VIP anywhere else, you're going to be getting in contact with a fake. Only use the links in either the pinned comment or the description of my official video. Stay safe and stay smart, my friends. I'll see you in VIP right now after this video. Let's get this crypto.
The material in this video has no regard to the specific investment objectives, financial situation, or particular needs of any viewer. This video is presented solely for informational and entertainment purposes and is not to be construed as a recommendation, solicitation, or an offer to buy or sell any securities, commodities, cryptocurrencies, or any related financial instruments, nor should any of its content be taken as investment advice. Crypto Kirby is not a financial advisor. The views expressed in this video are completely speculative opinions and do not guarantee any specific result or profit. Trading and investing is extremely high risk and can result in the loss of all of your capital. Any opinions expressed in this video are subject to change without notice. Crypto Kirby is not under any obligation to update or keep current the information contained herein. Crypto Kirby may have an interest in securities, commodities, cryptocurrencies, and or derivatives of any entities referred to in this material. Crypto Kirby accepts no liability whatsoever for any loss or damage of any kind arising out of the use of all or any part of this material. Crypto Kirby recommends that you consult with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment or trading decisions. Thank you for watching and have a great day.